Woohoo! Can you feel it? Can you feel the turn? Can you feel the shift in the energy? I'm not talking about the news. I'm talking about the energy shifts that are starting to happen. To me, I started feeling it really about, I'd say in August somewhere. I think I started to feel it in August. Even Ralphie Finn, this amazing astrologer that's a friend of mine, she felt it, starting to turn just a couple days ago. And I felt it starting to turn even more last month. And so now it feels like there's some momentum building. So, welcome to Suzanne Wagner's Numerology and Astrology for October 4th, 2020. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate the lovely feedback that people have been giving. I'm glad everybody is enjoying this. Know that you can find this on my YouTube channel. You can also find it on my Facebook page, on my fan page, as well as my personal page if you're a personal friend. And also on my blog, on my news, on my websites, which is SuzanneWagner.com or SuzWagner.com, SuzWagner.com. So here we are. Okay, so here we are. And fortunately today, if you add all the numbers together, you're going to get the number 9. And the number 9 is a number of completion, psychic ability, mysticism, and magic. Many people who've been watching this for a while have heard me say that before. A 9-day says it's time to finish some things up. It's time to complete things. It's a number of completion. Because the number after this is a 10-1 new beginning cycle. And there's just these cycles that we go through in life. And so throughout the day, the days, the days go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and they go back to, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And so we have these cycles that we constantly have to learn and grow and change and evolve. Astrology is doing the same thing. Pluto comes all the way around and is coming all the way around in the U.S. chart. So the U.S. chart is in a Pluto return. So it's kind of like right around July 4th, 1776. And we're in this time of revelation, and change, and here we are. And so Pluto's coming full around again. And so these are cycles because were you alive in 1776? Well, even if I was alive in 1776, I'm not sure I would have been in the United States in 1776. And so I maybe wouldn't be familiar with this particular pattern. And souls come into this planet and constantly evolve and change and hopefully transcend and move through. So some of us are newer to this game of life, and some of us are older to this game of life. And so we are still caught in the karmic rules and regulations of this world and this planet. And numerology and astrology are just some of those rules. There are karmic rules about, consequence and, you reap what you sow. And there's all these other big rules that religions are clear about. So, but today, we're talking about completion. And so all things in life need to come full circle. Today is a day that something could come full circle. Pay attention to your intuition. Subtle messages can come in as well as strong messages. And let your creativity run. Start some art project and make something beautiful. Rearrange your bedroom and let go of things that you just don't use anymore. Make space. Let the past go. You're moving into a new dimension, and probably you will not be able to drag a lot of that stuff forward. I was listening to a country western song today as we were working in the upper building, and it was like, how did it say? It's like a hearse doesn't have a the attachment for a trailer? A trailer hitch. So a hearse do not have a trailer hitch. And so you can't take this shit with you, right? So even me, it's like, I got a brand new bed, and I got a bed because I wanted one of those adjustable beds. And my bed is old. It's, I've had it for, 25 years or something. And there's always a point where you just need to let a bed go. So anyway, I'm letting this bed go. But in the process, my brain went, I think I'm going to rearrange my bedroom. Right? I'm going to move the bed off of this wall to this wall, which means I have to get rid of this cabinet, which means I've got to get rid of these books, which means that I might send those books to the friend of mine that is in Idaho that is on retirement, and the library is closed up there. And so I'm going to send him a whole bunch of books, even though it's incredibly expensive to send books. he doesn't even have access to the library for the last 6 months. So I'm just going to send him a whole bunch of books. Maybe he'll find them entertaining. So, you can let go of things and somebody else could really use them. That's what I look at. And, even though it might be easier to throw something away, what if you could recycle it? In the book category also, I have a friend of mine that she has a nonprofit that's called Books on the Inside. And she takes your used books in Salt Lake City, Utah, and she will pick them up and she takes them to the prisons so that she's refurbishing the libraries and the prisons in Utah and also in California and also in Arizona, which is really awesome. I think it's a great project to do. So if you are in Salt Lake, you can call, look up the nonprofit Books on the Inside, and somebody will come and pick up your books, which is an easy way to get rid of things. And these days we have a lot of wonderful books. Just know that in the prisons they do art classes, and they really love art books. They'll tear them apart, just so you know, and they'll have a picture of a Renoir or something in front of them, and they'll make a copy of it. But it's still really valuable. So nothing is going to be permanent. Everybody gets so attached to stuff, and you just have to let things go sometimes. You just kind of have to keep going and let it go. All right, the astrology for today. Pluto ends its retrograde cycle on Sunday. It has been retrograde since April. So, all 3 planets in the rare and challenging Capricorn alignment, those are Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter, are all moving forward, and they start to lighten up and pick up the energetic pace a bit. So keep in mind the Mars is still in Aries, and Mars is still really grumpy and retrograde and volatile and violent. And Mercury turns retrograde on October 13th, and it's going to be in Scorpio, so it's going to be a lot of miscommunication around the deeper emotions and deeper feelings of things that you might have an attachment to again. Expect things to lurch forward because Pluto being an outer planet and one that moves so slowly will make a radical turn, and this one will be for the record books, FYI. Profound changes are coming on the external and internal, and those changes cannot be stopped. They are insistent, determined, necessary, and astrological, which means it doesn't matter about what you think, it doesn't matter what I think, it doesn't matter any of it, it doesn't matter politics, it doesn't matter any of this craziness going on in partisanship. The astrology is foretelling a change, and in 2015 I warned that nothing was going to change for a very long period of time, and we are finally at the point where it's starting to turn. Now the truth is it's really going to turn in December, but the fact that we're starting to gain a little bit momentum in a positive way rather than falling into a negative way is good. Now, that doesn't mean the stock market won't crash, because it probably will. But it's like, there's all these adjustments that have to happen. So when things shift, then there's a consequence to that shift. So, now, a lot of things have the energy to make a significant change, and those changes are going to move rapidly from this point forward, especially by the time we get to December. And those that cannot or will not shift may respond not so pleasantly. There is a loud rumbling that will turn into a roaring. Something is coming. All the things that were blocked and held back are now overflowing. They're overflowing that dam that those people that have intentionally blocked the progress are going to have to watch as that dam that they thought they built so strong is going to come tumbling down. The moon is in Taurus, trying to steady the ship in the storm. The sails have been taken down so the boat will not tip. You cannot move safely in a storm with the sails at full, if anybody's a sailor out there. You would flip the boat. So they basically pull them down until there's just this little tiny sail that they work with, okay? So right now you may feel like this is all you have to work with, but that little sail is booking it, and it's going to move you forward, and you can't have more than this at this point because the wind is blowing really, really hard, all right? Now, we're trying to not flip the boat. We may flip the boat anyway, But we must do what we can to stabilize our world in this chaotic storm. So you have to try. So just make yourself this big. Okay, my quote for today. Do you hear it in the skies? The suffering of life wafting by? Do you see it in the eyes of every living thing passing by? Do you care that all you know may not make it into tomorrow? Something to think about. Okay. All right. My blog for today. This year has been one for the record books. Now, I'm sure everyone is feeling this way, so I don't think I am like the only person. I always think I'm like the canary in the coal mine. I'm just the canary that like keels over and drops dead when there's poison in the air. But this has been one for the record books on so many levels, right? I think I have been busier, not necessarily on a client basis, but in taking on the big projects that have been hanging over my head for years. And I have to say that finally, I feel like we're in the home stretch. And I feel like we're globally starting to make a very, very slow, very wide turn. Personally, I feel like I've gotten a lot done. You know, we personally are pretty well done with the fixing and refurbishing of the building that you might have heard about in some of the blogs, that I had a big redwood tree fall on it years ago. So we have now sealed it, cleaned it, have it functioning. We have air conditioning, we have sealed edges, a new porch, a new outside paneling, new rain gutters. It's shocking. While there's always more to do, for the moment, it is good enough. You know, my husband calls it clubhouse construction, okay? This is not designed to be the Taj Mahal. This is designed to be, for my husband, his sort of solar work space that he can be indoors, even if it's pouring rain, to build solar systems and panels and stuff like that. And he's got a tool room. He's got all of his tools organized. We have a storage room for the stuff that we do need to keep, and other rooms to work in, so that we've got the space to work in. And so we're feeling really accomplished at the moment. And I've learned a lot. You know, I've learned to do things that I would have never known how to do, or even thought that I would need to do. Growth is uncomfortably beautiful. Yeah. So I hope you all will feel the same way. Talk to you later. Bye.